Hey folks, this is Mad Mikey and you're watching MAddHaus TV. Welcome back. For those of you who are new here, hey, hit that subscribe button down there and ring that little bell so you can get notification of any content that we decide to give you as time goes on here. I'm not a professional YouTuber, I'm just a guy enjoying his hobby. So as those of you who have been watching this channel know, I've actually been playing a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's, of course, what you see right now. So let's jump up here. There we go. Excuse me. Throat's a little rough today, sorry. All right, my plan today is to take a little run around Washington, D.C. How's that? See how well they've rendered that. So if I go to Andrews, that's Newman. There's Andrews. Okay. So if I go to Andrews Air Force Base, I can, whoops, let it for departure. And we'll make sure we give ourselves some lovely flight conditions. And then we got plenty of daylight. Okay, a little bit. There we are. And let's take a look. And away we go. So we're going to go to Andrews. We'll fly to Washington National. We'll do a touch and go Washington National, and then we'll move on to Dulles, and that's where we'll end our little spot there. But we will, when leaving Andrews, we're going to have to fly over DC. So at very low altitude, very illegally. But fortunately for me, I won't get shot down. Like it says there, first installment of this came out in '82. Yeah, I remember that too. It was kind of lines on a screen of your instruments and a little bit of picture above. That was about it. There we go.
Andrews Tower, Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee ready for straight on departure in runway
Yes, I am.
left.
All right, I'm going to do something here. Watch me. Every time I do this, I end up stalling it out. So we'll see what happens here. So our brake's off. We'll move our VFR map out of the way so we can see. And it stalled, like I said. Didn't even do anything to it. Put it out. That's all right. So let's close this for now. And we will start the engines again. There we go. All right, let's scroll this down a bit. Well, we're already moving. I had my throttle up already. All right, fine. Be that way. Get my feet on the pedals here. Give us a little bit of pedals touchy. Once we get over 40 knots, we'll lift her up off the ground and be good to go. And we're over 40 knots, so lift her up and let her take off. There we are. I'm going to go for an outside view here. There we are. So at this point, let's positive rate of climb, excuse me, we get our flaps up. I said that both together, didn't I? All right. Let's get up to 1,500 feet or so, and we'll level off and head back towards DC. DC is to our left rear right now, because I'm taking off directly north. We'll start slowing down our airspeed a little bit. And making my turn. We're not quite 1,000 feet yet, but we'll keep going up a little bit. Andrews Air Force Base. All right. Let me put my VFR map back up. Drawing it down a little bit. There we go. All right, time to level off and give it just a little bit of trim. And we'll cut our engine a bit, save some gas. That should level us off. Once I get speed going again, we'll start coming back up. It'll porpoise a couple times until I get them trimmed out and ready to go. Hey, there's Washington Executive already. Popping in. You notice something else further down there? I think that's Potomac. Alright, maybe a little bit more trim. It's still going up and down. But that's okay. I'm about not quite 1,500 feet. I got lots of room to recover if something happens. Plenty of buildings and homes to crash into, so there we go. We're starting to level off a little better now. All right. So let's see. Now they've still got us going here for. We'll have to wait until Anders hands us off before we talk to anybody else. And let's angle ourselves a little better. There we go. We'll go over Potomac. I think that one that isn't listing yet is Potomac. Sorry, I'm not talking very loud. I need to make sure you can hear me over this. I could do indoors all the time, but you don't have this. That's great for me doing instruments, but it's not so pretty for you. So I can do instruments out here too and still see the scenery. One good thing about this. Alright, you can see the lights right above my wing there on the right side of Potomac popping up. I should be coming out of Andrews Air Base here. Andrews, excuse me, responsibility here in just a little bit. We're heading down this way. Right there's DC, and then so I should be able to land. I'm trying to remember where National is. That's alright. It will let me know. Oh, there's National up there. So let me start taking the turn here. There we go. Okie doke. Switching frequencies.
Tower Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee frequency change.
Alright, and this should get me close to where the approach is for Reagan National. There we go. Let's level out a bit. I'm at, yeah, I'm not quite 2,000 feet. That's good. So, get Washington Tower up. And this request to touch and go.
Washington Tower Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee is 7 miles southeast with uniform for touch and go.
I already see the runway up there.
Mike Delta, Mike Kilo, Yankee Washington Tower.
You're right up there, the blinking.
Runway 33. Altimeter 29.902, wind 281 at tree.
Good.
Fly straight at runway 33 Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee.
So as I was just going to say, as I get closer, there's my pattern entry. Of course, I have it on the easier mode, so it gives me, it's interesting to follow the pattern, and it allows me to adjust my attitude, my speed, my flaps, everything else until I get really used to it, and then I'll make it disappear again. But until then, you'll be seeing it for a little while. Alright, so yep, I'm going too fast. So let's pop in our first notch of flaps. There we go, as I boob up, boob up. Well, bob up. There we are. And we're gonna, let's see.
Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee clear touch and go left, traffic runway 33. Wind 281 at tree.
We'll drop our engine a little bit. Acknowledge that.
Cleared for touch and go runway 33 Cessna Mike
Here we
Kilo
go.
Yankee.
We'll add one more notch flaps. That should slow me down enough to just don't want to go down below 40 knots. On my left hand side there's my airspeed indicator. Now I'm going to be too fast for a while here until I get in the groove, but that's okay. I can speed up and slow down much easier than the big jetliners do, so take some of my trim off, that would help too, so I don't have to keep fighting it. Alright, A little less gas. Still going well over 60 knots. Come on, Mike, get it down there. You want to drop at 500. Right now I'm at negative 320. There we go. Now we're speeding up. And I can also give myself a little push in the nose a little bit. A little slower, yeah. One more notch flaps, that'll fill me up. 30 degrees is all I got. Let's get down low here. I know. I'm working on it. The reason I'm going so fast is I keep chasing it downward. I need to start chasing it upward. There we go. Watch my airspeed. I'll do it that way. Yeah, better get back. I don't do well when I'm in the cockpit. I need to learn my plane yet. Let's see how much I can get up before I get hit the stall warning buzzer. Oh, the light's hit now. It's blue. I'll give it a little more gas though. And now it's too slow. There's a stall warning buzzer. When she stalls, she likes to do that. I'm not going to make it. Doggone it. Clunk.
System Kilo Yankee contact route on 121.7.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hey, don't run over me. Alright, we're going to stop. We're going to start at Washington National right now. So we will do this. Back to the main menu. My apologies on that. I'm still rough on landing. On long approaches, I'm rough on landing. Chasing the ball, as they call it, up and down. Alright, world map. Well, let's go to National. Is that Dulles? That's Ronald Reagan. Okay. Set as departure. Now let's go. I'll cheat since I crashed and you don't want to start that whole thing over again. Neither do I. Alright. As you can tell, this is a simulator, it's not an easy game, and I have it on the easier setting. I'm still stalling out. Should have kept it high until the very end is what it should have done, and I'll learn that as I keep practicing.
Washington Tower says Flight Delta Mike Kilo Yankee at runway 33 ready for takeoff straight out departure.
I am. Hey, look, I didn't stall out right away. What a good sign. Alright. Lots of oomph. A little bit of, whoa. Alright. And I can lift up. And there we go. Awesome. Outside view again. There we are. I know it ruins those of you who enjoy the ambiance. It does ruin it from going outside, but I'm still getting used to it. It's going to take me a little while. All right. So we will keep that. We will get rid of our flaps, the little notch of flaps we had. And we're going to make a turn and start heading towards Dulles now. Once I get up and away here, they'll ask me to frequency change and I can switch to Dulles. Look at this stuff. The Pentagon. I landed and took off at National Airport a long time ago en route to Germany, matter of fact. Well, I didn't land and take off, the pilot did, I was in the plane, but... Alright. So let us do a little more adjustment here. Let's see if I can get us trimmed out. Don't have to pull back on the stick constantly. We're going to do a little porpoising up and down again. But we are probably close. They don't give me the option anymore, which means, there we go. We'll start leveling off in a minute. Purdy. That's my VSI. There we go. We're starting to get leveled off. There's DC, which I didn't go and visit. Doggone it. I forgot all about that when we crashed. Alright. We'll go there now. A little bit of back pressure on the yoke so I don't get crash. Whoa, not quite as much here, Bubba. Alright. There's the Pentagon again. All these lovely places I'm flying over that would normally get me shot. Alright, what am I at? 1,400 feet? Let's retard that just a little. Alright. Don't see the Pentagon. There it is, right there. That's why I fly outside. That's a Pentagon. The Lincoln Memorial. Let's get down a little lower here, since I can. So we'll go up the row. So the Lincoln Memorial, not bad. The reflecting pool. Nice. We've got Jefferson Memorial's over here in flat for some reason. And there's our our White House there, or not the White, yeah, the White House. Right. And Washington Monument. And as we go down the row here, we start getting into, coming up here by this round building, I believe is the Smithsonian's Flight Center. If I'm not mistaken. Smithsonian's back and forth on both of these areas. And as we get to the, I'm going to give it just a little more gas. Don't want to crash into the Capitol, then I would be in trouble like some other people are. Very nice. All right. Isn't that cool? Did a good job. All right. Power up. And then start making our turn, and we'll head back towards Dulles, where we'll make our full stop. There's Reagan again. us going here. Cruising around under 1,000 feet, that would definitely get us shot down. Now we are over 1,000 feet and would still be getting screamed at. Alright, let's ease it off again and see if we get trimmed out before we if I can do this without having to focus quite so much. There we go. We're going to fly this little teeny airplane into this big airport of Dulles. Alright, that should level us off. And we're at 1,400 feet. That'll work. As my cut my engine just a little bit. See if I can get our VSI, our vertical speed indicator, to quit jumping up and down. As we go up the Potomac. Alright, we'll need GPS tracking on to keep from the jump. As soon as they clear us of national airspace, we will get in touch with Dulles and get a landing clearance. There we go. Must have a little bit of a crosswind. She keeps wanting to move that way. See all the cars on the highways. That's awesome. My next trip will be to Chicago. Fly over Chicago. That's cool. I'll do a little research ahead of time and see what's the best way to go. Alright. So, come on, let's get out of Washington's airspace.
Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
How appropriate.
Washington Tower, Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee, frequency change.
Alright, nearest airport. Davidson, Montgomery. Oops, nearest airport list. Further, there we go. Oh, there it is, Dulles. KIAD. Which is, I'm not sure where. Do I need to shrink down a bit? GTN. I don't know. I'm going not quite west, I'm going northwest.
Dulles Tower, Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee is 16 miles east with Charlie to land.
Cessna, Mike Delta, Mike Kilo, Yankee Dulles Tower. Make straight in runway 30. Altimeter 29.92, wind 281 and tree.
Alright, so I better
Make
acknowledge
straight
him.
at runway 30, Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee.
So I'm going to be landing to the north, so there we go. There's my landing pattern finally popped in. So let's try this again and see if we can actually land at Dulles, unlike crashing on the way to National. Yes, I'm flying and drinking. I'm sure that doesn't help. No, actually, it's no different than it usually is for me. Landing is probably the hardest thing to do in this game. It shouldn't be, but my yoke system I bought is a bit touchy too. It has a big dead spot in the middle, so I need to find the right spot where I'm constantly kind of doing this down the runway or down the approach pattern instead of chasing the approach pattern like I did last time. So I know what I did wrong. Oh, what's going on at Dulles is here.
Dulles Airport information, Charlie 1500 Zulu. Wind 281 at 3. Visibility, niner. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 14. Dew point, 13. Altimeter 29.92. ILS runway 19 right, ILS runway 19 left and ILS runway 19 center in use. Landing and departing runway 19 right, runway 19 left and runway 19 center. VFR aircraft.
Lots of runways.
All aircraft read back to hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Charlie.
Okay.
Dulles Airport information, Charlie 1500 Zulu. Wind 2.
Whoops. How about if we go back to
Dulles
tower?
Airport information, Charlie 1500 Zulu. Wind 281 at 3. Visibility,
Okay, fine.
niner. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 14. Dew point, 13. Altimeter 29.92. ILS runway 19 right, ILS runway 19 left and ILS runway 19 center in use. Landing and departing runway 19 right, runway 19 left and runway 19 center. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back to hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Charlie.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't do that again. The little glitch is coming out of it. It does it the second time for some reason. What building have we here? It's big. All right. 7 more nautical miles to our approach point where we start getting into the approach. So this time I will remain low and keep my speed up until we get towards the end, and then I will do my adjustments. Seems to work for me. There we go. Running at 80 knots. Not quite 1,200 feet. PSI looks pretty level. Engine RPMs are 22,000 probably, and gas we still got plenty of, so lovely. Sooner or later I'll get to the point where I will actually look from the inside of the aircraft. Alright, let's start turning a little bit right and get into the approach path here. And you can see, you know, in real life you can see a little bit further, a little clearer than this, but, you know, knowing where that airport is, especially if you've not been in the area before. I'm lucky because this pops up and gives me directions, but finding the airport's one thing, finding which runway you need to go in is something else. The beautiful Virginia countryside. I like flying low because I like to look at the scenery. but out of my 1052, so yeah, I'm actually pretty good. It should get us into the approach. Alright, I'm going to take the VFR map out of here so I can see over there. And I'm going to have to answer things yet for these guys, so let's crunch it up a bit. Nope, that's as small as it gets. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, getting used to using the pedals is interesting too. They're different than flying without. I'm at 1,200 feet and it starts at 1052, so that's good. Not quite 3 more miles, a little over 3 more miles. Let's see if we can make a full stop and actually make it to parking this time. And we get credit for it. I do have a flight log that outlogs my hours, which is interesting. And I have to verify it at the end of each flight, which is kind of cool. It's basically signing it, which I don't sign it, but I digitally sign it. Alright.
Kilo Yankee, clear to land runway 30. Wind 281 retreat.
Awesome.
Clear to land runway 30, Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee.
Alright. Get myself in the middle of this. I'm just going to follow it this way and deal with my speed and flats. That should be what I normally do. I have enough until now. There we go. What am I at? 1,100 feet? Okay. I'm going 80 knots. I'm definitely slowed down, so. Let's do our, now let's get into it and then we'll do our first notch of flaps. Too fast, yeah, I bet. Alright, our first notch of flaps coming down, that lets me bob up a bit. And that's okay. Why did my, oh, I was just going to say, why did my thing disappear? Alright. Still says too fast, but I'm doing okay. I mean, these approaches are really extended. I'm not a jet coming in here, so. One more notch of flaps. Alright, let's get down low again. Once again, I'm getting up on top. See how we do here. Look at this airport, man. It's got runways all over the place. There's my last bit of flaps. Alright. Airspeed's good. Wheel size 500. Okay. I think we're in good shape for change. Just in time to make the threshold. Rear wheels are down. Whoa. Now I'll chop the engine. There we go.
Yankee exit runway when able.
Okie dokie. Let's get out on the runway here. Flaps up. We'll taxi aways here. There's a taxiway. I'm sure they want this little airplane to get the hell off our taxiway.
Yankee exit runway when able.
I'm working on it. All right. There we go. Make our turn here. Got quite a taxi with this damn runway.
Yankee exit runway when able.
We'll taxi. We'll get off here.
System at Kilo Yankee contact ground on 121 decimal.
There we go. Hey.
121 decimal 625 for Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee. Dulles ground Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee taxi to the gate. Cessna Mike Delta Mike Kilo Yankee taxi to gate Delta Tree to using taxiway Tango Whiskey 4 cross runway 1 center echo.
The hardest part getting used to this was getting used to the pedals to make me turn left and right. I can do my airlines a little bit.
Yankee, did you hear my last transmission?
Oops.
Taxiing to gate Delta Tree 2 via taxiway Tango Whiskey 4 cross runway 1 center echo Cessna Mike Kilo Yankee.
Just doing his job. Not sure which gate he's taking me to. Probably one I wouldn't go to as a small aircraft, but hey. Let's see what they got. Got a good taxi going here. Ah, gate Delta 23. Yeah, I wouldn't be landing in a Cessna going to Delta 23, but why not? Here's all the general aviation traffic sitting here, and I'm just cruising past him. How you doing? I'm going to the gate. I'll see you boys at the bar. Get my butt on the damn taxi line again. There we go. Okay. Fine. I have to use my toe brakes a bit. Slow down. We're getting there. Interesting, I don't see the distinct Dulles spaceship, but yeah, that's alright. I'm sure if I get up closer it might show up. Alright. Pretty quiet for Dulles. I wonder why. They do have in this game, which I tried the other day, a couple aircraft, and this is the basic game I've got. We don't have all the expansions and stuff, but they do have a Airbus A320 that you can fly, which is kind of cool. And there's my gate. Toe brakes, brakes, brakes. Turn. Brakes. Brakes. Oh, there he is right there. See my guy on the left. Always stops right before I get going. See my marshaller there. There we go. Come on. Lovely. All right, let's get inside here. And let's get rid of that so we can see what we're doing. By the way, 1 magneto, 2 magneto, off. Our engine should putter down. There it goes. All right. Battery master off. Oops, park and brake. There we go. So, another 20 minutes basically on my day flights, which are mostly been day flights. So, awesome. We landed this time. Thanks for coming by. Give me just a moment here while that comes back. And there we are. All right. Well, thanks for coming by, guys.